It happened in a basement in Tribeca, a dimly lit studio where platinum records hung on walls and secrets hung heavier in the air. Diddy Combs to the word, Puff to his friends, was pacing, and I was kneeling. A 9 mm Glock was cold against my skull. My heartbeat sounds louder than the music that once filled the room. "You stole from me," he said, calm as a lake before a storm. "You know what happens to rats, right?" I didn't respond. What could I say? I had seen too much, uncovered too much, and now I was going to die for it. My name is Jay Carter. I'm a music executive. Was, anyway. I managed artists, produced hits, and got famous rubbing shoulders with giants. I had been in the industry for 17 years. 17 years of covering up things I shouldn't have seen, until I saw one thing I couldn't ignore. It started with a USB drive, silver, ordinary looking, found in a drawer labeled "Tour Archives". I was only supposed to back up files for Diddy's upcoming autobiography project, but that drive held encrypted files labeled "Chicago 1996", "Missed Due Blackmail", and whispers, bounty orders. Chills ran down my spine. Curiosity killed the cat, but curiosity almost killed me. That night I decrypted the files. What I saw made my palms sweat. Surveillance footage, audio recording, documents, evidence of extortion, illegal payouts, silence witnesses, and something about Project Silence involving Biggie unsolved murder. I couldn't sleep for days. Every sound felt like a shadow crawling. I tried to convince myself it wasn't real, that I do misunderstood it all. But then I noticed a black car following me home, and my phone, I had started echoing during calls. I knew the game. I was being watched. I tried to erase the files, but it was too late. My laptop had already synced with my cloud storage. The algorithm had copied everything. It was sitting in a hidden drive now, buried under the layer of security. Even I couldn't access it without a skill switch. I needed help. But in this industry, who do you trust? Lawyers work for labels. Labels bow to moguls. And moguls, they run the whole damn world. I remembered Malik, an ex-FBI tech who owed me a favor after I helped his nephew get a record deal. I called him. "Jay," Malik said after I showed him one document, "these aren't just about music. You've got government names in here. Cops, judges, artists. These things goes deep." And that's when the paranoia became real. Because hours after Malik left my apartment, his house burnt down. He and his wife barely made it out. I was next. They didn't try to kill me at first. They tried to discredit me. Leaked stories, blog posting, insiders, gossip that I was a fraud, an addict, mentally unstable. My bank account got frozen for suspicious activities. My mom's phone stopped working. People ghosted me. It was surgical. I packed a bag, deleted my social media, and drove to Atlanta. Stayed in a motel for days, watching the cameras. Every knock on the door felt like my last. I sent a dead man's switch email to myself. If I died, the truth would go live to every major news outlet. But that wasn't enough. Diddy wasn't just playing defense. He wanted revenge. I had made one mistake. One, I told my ex-girlfriend, Nadia. I thought she was the only person left who still cared about me, but she was also the one who told him where I was. It was midnight when they came. 3 men. One knocked, like housekeeping. The other two burst through the door. I ran. Out the bathroom window. Hit the ground hard. limped to the gas station, and hijacked a stranger's car. I left my phone behind. No tracking. I drove to DC. My only hope was to leak the files myself to someone untouchable, someone who hated the industry enough to burn it down. That's when I remembered Tasha, once a Rolling Stone journalist, now a Rouge podcaster with a cult following and no filter. She listened to the first recording. Her hands shook. Jay, this will destroy everything. That's the point, I said. But she hesitated. You sure you are ready to die for this? I think I already did. We made a plan. She do split the files across dark web nodes. Anonymous releases. One dropped every 48 hours. Just enough to keep Diddy and his handlers panicking, but not enough for them to trace us. The first drop went viral. Audio of a phone call from 2005. Diddy's voice threatening an unnamed artist about staying quiet on the rooftop things. The blogs exploded. YouTube lit up. Old beef resurfaced. Artists started making encrypted posts. The world was watching again. And then the bounty hit. $500,000. That's what they offered for my head, alive or dead. It leaked on an encrypted Discord channel. That's when the street hitman started calling. No cops, no assassins, rappers, thugs, even washed-up DJs from the Bronx. It became a hunt. I hid in a cargo container for 2 days, ate canned beans, slept on cardboard. Tasha brought food throughout back alleys. She was risking everything. I kept asking myself, was this worth it? Then came the second leak, an unreleased interview with a former security guard who confessed to driving someone's dead body across state lines in 1999. Names were beeped, but people knew. The industry's silence was louder than a scream. That's when I knew I was winning, because the truth, it rattled them. But victory was temporary. One night, I got a text from a burner phone. Meet me at 4 a.m. 216 Jefferson. Come alone. It was from my old producer, Max. We hadn't spoken in years, but he was family once. And in his business, family means something, or so I thought. I went. Shouldn't have. The warehouse was cold, empty, except for Max and Diddy and four other men in masks. Why, Jay? Diddy asked, stepping from the shadows. I gave you everything. You were supposed to protect this house. I laughed bitterly. I protected truth. You just built an empire on lies. He nodded at one of the masked men. The gun came out. I'm gonna give you a choice, he said, pacing like a preacher. You disappeared right now. Change your name. No more leaks. Or, he pointed the gun at my chest. I take you off this chessboard myself. I stood up slowly. If you kill me, that dead man's switch activates. Every file, every tape, every name. Boom. Internet. Armageddon. He paused. His eyes narrowed. You buffling? Try me, I said, smiling like a man with nothing left to lose. Then he pressed the gun to my head. Silence. Time stretched like elastic. I could hear my heartbeat in my throat. But he didn't pull the trigger. He backed away. You win this round, Jay. But don't ever forget, I made you, and that will be the reason they remember you. I walked out alive, but not free. The next morning, the third leak dropped, a video footage of a 1997 club shooting. You could hear Diddy in the background, yelling, commanding. The media couldn't split it anymore. That was the day the FBI knocked on my door. They offered protection, a deal, immunity if I testified. I agree, but I knew it wouldn't end there. The trial never happened. Witnesses vanished. Judges reused. Evidence lost in transit. The machine was too powerful, but the public, they knew, and that was enough for me. Diddy went quiet for a year, then rebranded again. Spiritual retreats, charity concert, new colon, line, but something had shifted. The god of hip hop now walked like a man with ghosts behind him. As for me, I disappeared. New name, new city, no Instagram, no spotlight, just stories and silence. Sometimes I still feel the steel on my neck, still hear his whispers. You shouldn't have stayed loyal. But loyalty without conscience is slavery. I've paid the price, lost everything, but I kept my soul. In an industry built on illusion, that's the rarest currency. If you are reading this, maybe you are in the game. Maybe you are climbing the ladder. Here is your warning. Every wrong is soaked in blood. Diddy didn't pull the trigger that night, but he aimed it. And that tells you everything you need to know. And me, I will keep watching from the shadows until the final truth drops and the whole tower comes crashing down. Right now, the Diddy Sincom situation is extremely serious and layered, and based on how things are unfolding, it's not looking good for him in the public eyes or legally in the whole world. Now, here's the breakdown of what we need to know so far about Diddy's case. One of it is multiple allegations. Over the past years, multiple individuals, most notably Cassie, his ex-girlfriend, have come forward with serious allegations of abuse, trafficking, and manipulation. While some of the lawsuits had been settled quickly, others remain pending or still emerging. The fact that federal agencies like Homeland Security had raided his homes in Los Angeles and Miami suggested that this has moved beyond civil lawsuits. When feds get involved, especially with potential charges like human trafficking, conspiracy, or money laundering, it is a different level. The TMZ and CNN recently published alleged surveillance footage from hotel cameras showing Diddy assaulting Cassie. This is damning. Visual proof changes public perception and legal outcome fast. Now, witnesses and patterns also. More victims and industry's insiders are seeking out, creating a pattern of behavior spanning decades. And if prosecutors build a case around a pattern of abuse, trust me, it strengthens the legal blow. Now, the question now is, will Diddy actually come out of this? Well, it depends on three things. Number one is if criminal charges are filed, not just civil suits. Also, whether cooperating witnesses emerge, which seems likely. Now, how much evidence does the government has, especially electronic communications, videos, and finance recording? Now, Diddy has money, trust me, power and access to top-tier lawyers. But, as we've seen in similar cases like R. Kelly and Harvey Weinstein, even powerful men fall when the legal, public, and moral tides turn against them. And if there is enough credible corroborated evidence, especially from multiple accusers, it's unlikely he escaped untouched. At best, to me, he may reach settlement, but his legacy, brand partnership, and possibly freedom could all take a massive hit. If you enjoyed this story, do well to hit the subscription button. Like this video, go right in the comment section. Tell us your thoughts. What do you think about Diddy's case so far? Do you think he's going to succeed in this? Do you think he's going to come out in this case? If you think so, please kindly drop it right there in the comment section. Thank you very much. See you in my next video. Please don't miss out.